Hello YouTube. There's something on my shirt. Hold on. So it's almost Halloween, and I don't know if you guys knew this about me, but I actually live in Paris right now. It's not like I've been posting videos about it every week or anything like that, but Paris doesn't really do Halloween. And even if there are a few Halloween parties and nightclubs, I'm not gonna be going this year because my family's visiting me, and Diwali, which is a big Indian festival, basically, if you don't know, is also on Halloween. So I'm going to be celebrating that, obviously. With that being said, I don't have a Halloween costume. I guess that's implicit, but I did want to do something fun for Halloween and try a fun makeup look. So I'm going to be trying deer makeup. And I thought, why don't I post it in case anyone needs like a last minute idea, although deer makeup is extremely popular this year. So the deer makeup is basically all about a few very strategically placed dots that kind of give you the appearance of a deer. I saw some pictures of people doing this makeup, but I also saw pictures of actual deer. So I've just been wanting to try it out, and I don't get a Halloween costume this year, so this is gonna be my Halloween costume. So I'm gonna start off, I don't have anything on my skin right now except like moisturizer. So I'm just gonna take some primer first, because if you're wearing this makeup, it's all about the layering and you want everything to sit right, and the best way to do that is with a good primer. You want to be especially sure you get the primer on your forehead, because your forehead and cheekbones are kind of where the dots are mainly gonna go. And then I think for the first part of this routine, you can kind of do your base however you like, because that part is kind of consistent across all the looks. It's just a nice base. So however you think your base looks best. For me, I just like to use a very small amount of foundation in a very thin layer all over my face. I just like to dot it on. I'm really not sure about the color of this foundation. I really don't know if it's my color or not, because I feel like in person it looks a little too reddish, but on camera here it looks fine, so I don't know. I'm just blending in my foundation. I also like to use a really small sponge because I'm a little bit like, I don't know, I'm a little bit conscious about my makeup. Like, I don't want there to be any unblended spots, and I prefer to do very thin makeup. So although I am working on using more of it, because it doesn't look like I have any on, I use so less. So I am trying to get into using more of it, but I'm extremely worried about it looking unblended or something. I'm just gonna go over with a clean brush, although the brush won't be clean for long. Okay, and that's pretty much it for my base. That's all I'm gonna do. And then I'm gonna start with the deer bit next. So how this makeup works is you kind of put a brown on the sides of your forehead, a little bit in the middle, and then along your cheeks here. And then we're gonna carve dots like a deer's face out of that. So for the brown, you could use a bronzer, but my bronzer is really close to my skin color right now because I still have a tan. So I'm using this brown eyeshadow that I have and a big fluffy brush. And I'm just gonna take a whole bunch of that eyeshadow and just, oh, that's a lot. Just carefully start brushing it on. I think the most important thing about this step is that you should just try to make it look smooth and even, because if it looks patchy here, like mine does right now, it's gonna be kind of hard to hide that. But Halloween is all about having fun and being creative, so just fool around. Like, I think this cheek looks better. I think I blended it out a bit better here, but that's kind of the base. It's quick, but it can go wrong. Like, I don't know what happened here. Maybe I had some primer here still, so it kind of bunched up, but yeah. And now I'm getting the urge to go back in and do some patchwork. So I'm gonna take a little foundation and just brighten the center of my face again, just so that I don't look dirty, you know? We don't want that. That is a very real possibility. I think going back in and smoothing it out just helps everything look a little more blended, and only takes 1 extra minute to just clean it up. I really love the idea of the deer makeup because I feel like for a while, every Halloween costume had to be like a character or a reference. And there's something so just refreshingly simple about just being an animal. Just, you're just a deer. Like, you're a deer. Like, you know, there's no other way to really understand that. No one's gonna miss what you are because it's an animal that everybody knows. And I just like how it, like, almost whimsical it is to just be a deer. Like, I think it's so cute. But okay, so I've got this vibe going, and then I'm just putting away the stuff that I've already used. But to create the dots, I had a 2-step plan. The first is to take a cleansing balm, or you can take a makeup remover if that's what you use, but I don't use that, so I use a cleansing balm. So in the cleansing balm, I'm just going to take an earbud and or Q-tip, I think the Americans called it that, and just take some makeup remover on that. And with cleansing balm, you kind of have to warm it up in your hand a little bit, so I'll do that. And then with the Q-tip, I'm gonna start drawing circles, basically. Try to keep them pretty uniform, and a couple smaller ones here and there. And then I'm just gonna make these little circles all over my face, concentrated on the sides and small and less of them in the middle, because they'll only show up where the brown eyeshadow is. If the circles look a little messy right now, don't worry, because I have a plan and we're gonna fix them. I'm not doing too many. I have 4 on this side, and I'll maybe do 3 on this side because I don't want them to look like overly symmetrical. And then I'll do a few on my forehead as well. Okay, now I've kind of mapped out the dots with the makeup remover, but now we have to make them pop a little bit because they need a little more contrast to be more deery. So for that, I have a concealer that the applicator is a brush, which makes it really easy to put on. And if you don't have a concealer like this, just take some out on your hand and use any brush you have. I'm sure you have at least that. And I'm just gonna go in and kind of outline the circles I've made, make them a little brighter. This is like face painting. Like, I have to make sure to keep the edges really clean. So I'm gonna stop talking and focus on this. Like, you can see them pop a lot more now. It's definitely looking more deer-like. Cute. Now the concealer is still wet and my concealer is really thin, so I do need to blend it out. So I'm gonna grab the same beauty blender and just tap them out just a little bit. Ooh, this is, maybe I will just use my finger because I don't want to mess up the edges. You guys know I had a math exam this morning and it went so badly that this is really therapeutic right now, dressing up like a deer. Yeah, I think the tapping is just helping them look a little more faded and like part of my skin almost. Well, as much as I can, but I'm not tapping too much. How's that? I wish I could go to class like this. I don't know why, but this is so fun. Now you want to set the dots because they can smudge. So I'm just taking some loose setting powder. And I'm just going to take a small little brush, take the tiniest bit of powder, tap off the excess, and just tap it only onto the circle to just set it. So then these bad boys stay on all night and they don't smudge and blend with the brown eyeshadow around them. This is probably the most important step. If you want to pull this off for it to stay looking good, you need a set because everything will start melting. I know how Halloween parties get. I've only been to one at an actual nightclub and it was kind of horrible, but when is a nightclub not horrible? But I keep going anyway too. It's like, I think nightclubs fill the void of Indian weddings for me because there's no other part of life where you just get to go and dance on a dance floor. Like, that's kind of rare, you know, in the Western world, in Europe. The only place you can do that is a nightclub. So it helps me get through that void of Indian weddings. But yeah, the dots are set. And now it's time to kind of bring it all together and finish the deer vibe. So for this, I'm gonna add a couple things. The first is a little blush. I don't have any blush on yet, but I'm just gonna do a teeny bit. I'm putting it more, I usually wear it like where the dots are, but I don't want to do that. So I'm just doing it here on the edge of the brown bit, trying to blend them in so I look like a cute little deer. I find that adds a lot. I do think so. Like, I think that really adds something. Now the other thing I wanted to do was take bronzer. This is just a stick one that I have. And I wanted to do a line down both sides of my nose. This is important. This is not a nose contour. This is a deer nose. So we want a line over here, both sides of your nose. And if you can kind of somehow make it look curved in like that, that would also be good. But my nose shape doesn't really let me do that. So, but if you can, you should. I think that completes things more. And then also, I wear glasses, but I would also take the stick and go up here, fill in this, like continue the line up. You can't see it on me so much because of my glasses, but I still think it helps put a little finishing touch on it. Just blending my nose bronzer. Okay, do you see, are you seeing my vision? The next thing I'm going to add is the deer nose. Now this one I have not seen that many people do with their deer makeup. A lot of people just leave it at this stage, put on brown lip, and that's the makeup. But I think I want to do a nose because I think that really makes or breaks it. So I'm going to look at a picture of a deer and come back. Okay, here's my vision. I'm going to color this part of my nose brown and blending into my top lip. I think that's what makes it animal. So let's try. But it's giving deer, I feel like. I feel so stupid. Then I'm just taking this liquid. No, this is not a liquid. This is a gloss stick. I just feel like you want your look to be natural, right? Like deers don't wear lipstick, but you do want to look hydrated and good. So I'm gonna put this on. It gives a little color and it helps the brown lip liner blend into my lips as well. Okay, I feel like we're getting somewhere now. And the very last thing I wanted to do was I have this palette of like super shimmery shimmers. And this was just to give it a little Halloween party pizzazz. So I'm going to take some of the white shimmer and maybe some of this like champagne-y neutral color. Just a little bit of both of those. And I'm just going to put it a little bit on my cheekbones. If you have antlers for some reason, like from Christmas or something, that would really make this. I know that does don't have antlers, but like no one thinks about this that much, you know, like people should recognize what you are. Like I feel like I look like a animal. Do I look like a deer though? That's debatable. I'm putting a little highlight on the end of my nose and then my brow bones lastly. Like, I don't know, you guys. I feel like this is a vibe. Like, why can't this be my everyday makeup? I would 100% go to class like this. If you know how to do like space buns or like even a double ponytail would be really cute with this. But like double buns, like up here, ooh, that's deer. But I don't know how to do those. Like those never work in my hair. They never have. But this is so much fun. I almost wish I was going to a Halloween party so I could wear this makeup there, but I'm not. Diwali takes precedence, I fear, but I had a fun time just doing my makeup anyway. And I hope if someone's on October 28th looking for ideas after Halloween weekend, you find this video. But yeah, that's the deer makeup. This is so much fun. I want to do every animal now. Like imagine like rabbit makeup, like super pearly and pinky. Like that would be so cute. But yeah, that's it. That's the look. Take a good look. I gotta go to class now, so I gotta go wash my face and go to the university.